Learned how typing a website name opens a web page. Today, let's understand DNS, that is Domain Name System, in a very simple way. So, what is DNS? DNS stands for Domain Name System. It works like a phone book of the internet. Just like a phone book converts a name into a phone number, so it acts like a phone book. It converts domain name into IP addresses. For example, google.com is converted into IP address that is 142.250.195.78. So computers understands IP addresses, not the domain name. So this www.google.com is converted into an IP address. Why DNS is needed? So humans remember names easily. We can't remember numbers easily. So DNS helps us to remember the names easily. Computers work with numbers, that is IP addresses. Without DNS, users will need to remember IP addresses to open an website. So without DNS, we would have to type IP addresses instead of website names. So let's begin with working of DNS. In order to understand this, look at this diagram first. So it consists of PC, IPS recursive server, root DNS server, top level domain DNS, and authoritative DNS server. So let's say you type www.google.com in your browser. Browser sends a DNS query to the recursive DNS server. So this is the browser. From here, we will send a query to recursive server. So recursive server then asks the root DNS server. The root DNS server then points to TLD, that is top level domain DNS, like .com, .org. Then this TLD server points to authoritative DNS server. The authoritative DNS server sends the final IP address of that particular website which we have requested. IP address is then returned browser. Now this browser uses the IP to load the website. So finally, domain name is converted into IP address and the website opens. So next we will learn about types of DNS server. So there are four types of DNS server. Recursive DNS server. So this is the recursive DNS server. First server contacted by the user. So when the user types and query, then first recursive server is contacted, finds the IP address on behalf of the user. Next comes the root DNS server. So this is the root DNS server. It knows where the TLD server is. Next is TLD DNS server. So this is TLD, that is top level domain DNS server. It handles domains like .com, .org and .in. Next comes the authoritative DNS server. So this is the last server, that is authoritative, stores the actual IP address of the website. So next, what do you mean by DNS forwarder? A DNS forwarder is used when a DNS server cannot resolve a query, or if a DNS server cannot find the IP quickly, it forwards the request to another DNS server. So this is called as DNS forwarder. Example, local DNS, then it goes to Google DNS, then IP address is returned. Next comes SMTP Protocol. SMTP stands for Simple Mail Transfer Protocol. What does SMTP do? SMTP is used to send the email. It sets rules for email communication between the server. So the port used is port 25. It works on port 25. It supports end-to-end delivery. Store and forward method is used and used only for sending the mails, not receiving.